I'm back. I'm back from New York City, baby. I'm back in the hot seat today, trading equities again. Looking at the trade idea scanner this morning, what stocks are hot and all of that fun stuff. Trying to get a little bit trading in here, trying to make some money and changing it up. You're going to see what I'm talking about here real soon. I'm going to talk about kind of what I'm doing here on the chart. It looks different, right? There's something missing. Well, there's no level 2. There's no time of sales. There's basically no noise. We're focusing on price action. We're focusing on setups, the chart, and all that fun stuff. So if you guys are new to the channel, if you're just now tuning in, if you're a long-time subscriber, all that fun stuff, make sure you help me out and hit that like button. You know, I've got bills to pay. I've got things to buy, things to do. So help me help you by hitting that like button. Also, if you're just now tuning in for the first time, don't be shy. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, get the notifications and all of that fun stuff. I've said fun stuff a lot today, but it really wasn't that fun because I ended up losing money today. I ended up losing some money today, but I'm going to show you guys my red trade. It's kind of not good because, you know, I had this new idea, this overall like new plan of not trading with level 2 and that, and it's not really working well for me because, you know, I had a red day on the first day that I traded with the new strategy. And, well, it doesn't really help me out by having a red day when the first day that I traded with the new strategy. Not good. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to show you guys the red trade here and kind of what went wrong. I don't think it was a strategy as much as just my execution. I'll talk about that here in a second. I'll show you the trade and all that fun stuff. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, so this morning, I'll explain what I'm doing here with the chart real quickly, but I want to find my entry first here, see if I can get in here at the $5 area here on CIFS. This thing gapping up this morning. It's up 55%. I'm going to explain more about what's going on here in a second, but right now, I'm just keeping an eye on CIFS at that $5 area to see if we can get an opportunity to get in here long for a possible push up there towards pre-market highs or possibly higher later on today. So let's see if we can get some fill here at the $5 area. Just giving a little bit of time, looking for a little bit more of a pullback. See if we can maybe touch down there to the 490 area. 490 would be nice, maybe. So right now I can't see my P&L. I can't see my P&L. I took it away. So now I'm focusing strictly on the trade. No P&L. Can't see my loss, obviously. So we'll see if we can pull back down there a little bit more. Maybe I'll get some more dip off of the 480 area. Just kind of watching it here for maybe a little bit more. For this overall, you know, wave pattern here, you can see on the 5-minute chart. I got the 5-minute chart pulled down below. So we're kind of consolidating here, 490s right now. So looking for that 480 area to hold here into open. Now, since we have a little bit of time, I think we're going to kind of hold here this 490 for now. So what we got going on here is I'm focusing only on price action, only charts. No level 2, no time and sales, nothing but the chart. I'm playing the chart and only the chart. I know that might sound crazy, but after going to New York and talking to some long-time traders, talking to some real market mover type traders, guys that are really moving the market, you know, I asked them what they thought about level 2, what they thought about time and sales, and all that fun stuff. And they're basically like, hey, never used it. I don't use it. I don't use it. And I'm like, okay, well, I think it's time for me to really get real here. Real, recognize real. Okay, so that 480 area now, it's bouncing there. I think that 475 area, got the EMA kind of lining up there. I think we can get a little bit of a pop here and push back up there above $5 here in a second. We can hold this 480. You see earlier kind of bouncing off that 480 area nicely. 480 area holding. So that's why I'm buying into this 480 area, okay? You can see I'm trying to explain these trades to you guys a little bit better than I have in the past. You know, why I'm doing what I'm doing, what I'm looking for. And right now, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that 480 area to bounce like it did earlier. This morning, CIFS going from $3.50 up there to $5.70, pulling back down there to the 450s. And then right now, showing a little bit of support there at the 480s like we had earlier. And we're looking for this to hold. That's, again, not a real print there. This is some old orders coming through there that dropped down to $4. Not sure why Dash Trader Pro shows those old prints and then shows them on the chart like that with the whole candle body like that. But when you see that big old candle there like that, but really it's not real price action. Really need this 480 area to hold for that push higher here, that consolidation support area. You can see earlier going from $4, 580, pulling back down there to 450, pushing up there to 540, pulling back down there to 480 again, and looking for, like I said, this 480 area to now kind of turn into that next higher low. So we had the higher low here, and now we're looking for this 480 area to be the higher low and push up there above $5. Kind of riding right now, riding that EMA here, riding like a bull, baby. We're riding that EMA line there at the 475, 480 area. And this is going to be the moment of truth if we can start to push back here, start to push up. So we want to see this like that, basically. So you might be looking at this and you're like, well, what is he watching right now? I'm basically just watching the overall chart. I'm not watching level 2. In the past, with level 2, we've seen where there's been big orders on the downside, or we've seen where there's been big orders on, trying to spoof the level 2. We've seen it's a lot of kind of manipulation, especially these low float stocks. So I'm just focusing on the overall chart, looking for the dip, looking for the action to the upside here. And that's what we're playing into. We're not sitting there focused on like, oh God, there's a big seller on level 2 or anything like that. We're just focusing solely on the idea of buying the dip, selling the rip, the overall price action, looking for those higher lows. Right now we're holding this 470 area, so we're getting that higher low in there. And now we're looking for the push back up. We want that curl, similar to this move. We got this pullback, and then we want to see this curl back up and head towards $5. And it looks like we might start to get this curl right here, and looking like we can see. So I'm not actually seeing my P&L. Again, I don't see my P&L. You guys can see the P&L. I have it pulled up with the OBS, so it's overlaid right now on the chart, but I'm not actually seeing my own P&L. Only you guys can see it. So we're going to see how this plays out in terms of removing P&L, removing level 2, removing time of sales, removing all that jazz, all that stuff that just might not really be needed. Maybe it's needed. Maybe we're going to find out that I can't trade without it. Maybe I can't trade without level 2. Maybe I can't trade without the time and sales. Maybe at the end of the day, I need all those things. But we're going to try it out this week and see how it goes. If we can, how that affects how I trade, how it affects my trading by removing a lot of that stuff, a lot of the noise, and focusing solely on the chart, solely on the price action, and looking for this now to see if we can't get moving here back above $5. You can see red, 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 green, green, green. So we had 3 candles of green, 3 candles of red. If the pattern holds, the idea is that we should get 3 candles of green again. So let's see if we get that. You can see some resistance here at the 510 area, $5, 510. So a lot of resistance here. This thing really needs a little bit more volume, kind of consolidate there, hold that 470 area like we just did. I'd like to see this 480 area kind of turn into support now and start to push higher. Would be nice. I'd like to see 480 hold here. I looked away for a second and lost it. I got to get back into the small cap world in terms of how these stocks move. It's not like trading futures, Definitely going to get a little bit more volatility here. So definitely have my stop there at the 470. If 470 can't hold, I think this trade is going to just get obsolete there. Definitely not working out. We want to see this 470 definitely has like a final line in the sand. We need to see that 470. You can see on the 5-minute chart kind of why I'm thinking that. Obviously, we want to see this higher low hold here. If we break below 470, I think pretty quickly this thing's going to start to roll off, at least back down to the 450s. And I don't want to hold this until 450s. I don't want to take a 30-cent loss on this trade. I want to minimize my risk here, minimize my loss, and still just giving a little bit of time, letting this play out. You can see how this got denied there from the 490s. So I want to see what happens with this candle. I want to see if we can push back above 490. This is the 5-minute chart here. I don't know if you guys can. Okay, so now we're looking for this 480 area to hold again. I want to see this 480 hold. Definitely 470 line in the sand there. We cannot let this go below 470. If it goes below 470, we are out of it. It is done. It is over. And it's not going to work out. So don't want to fight it. We're getting a lot of selling pressure here. Not really liking all of that selling pressure. You can see the tops of these candles, these 5-minute candles. Earlier we're getting green, 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 pushing higher off this bounce. But right now, it just seems like we're getting a lot of selling pressure there. A lot of selling pressure, a lot of selling pressure. Right there, that fine line here. Fine line, getting tight. Getting tight, tight. You see how earlier as well, kind of, pulling back, bouncing, pulling back, bouncing. Kind of a little bit of consolidation there, bounce, pulling back. We're consolidating. Are we going to bounce here? Is this 470 area going to turn into that rock bottom support? Are we going to bounce off the 480s and get above this 490 resistance that we just got kind of hammered by there a couple minutes ago? Low of this candle is 477. The low of this candle is 476. I got my finger on the trigger here. I got my finger on the trigger. I think, like I said, I'm watching this 470 area very closely here. We're just not really getting that action that we wanted there. It's kind of one of those things, I can jump out of it now, save a little bit face, save a little bit of profit, save a little bit of money, and just get out of it while we're kind of consolidating here before we start to sell off. Or I can give it a little bit of time here and see if we can't hold and start to squeeze higher. But right now, looks like it wants to touch that 470 again. So I'm going to go ahead and jump out of it there, not holding that 470 like we wanted. And what did we end up at? Ended up down $420. So basically hitting my max, not my max stop for the day. My kind of max loss, normally is around $500. But you can see walking away with $420 loss there. Kind of the writing was on the wall here. I think the writing was on the wall. I think I should have. One of those things where if we weren't going to hold, if we can't, I think this was the writing on the wall in terms of this move right here. We got that bounce from 470s, and then we got denied at 490. I think if this had the strength, if this really wanted to push here, if this wanted to push back up, we should have easily pushed through that 490 right there. Really wasn't much, in terms of resistance there, but just got denied there. That should have been the red flag right there. You can see all that selling on the top of that candle. It's not a good look. You get all that selling pressure there, not a good look. So there it is. I'm not going to say that today was like, oh, this is the reason I lost money was because, I didn't have level 2 and because I didn't have the time in sales. I'm not going to blame the new idea, the new strategy on that. I think it was a little bit of FOMO. I think today was definitely a little bit of FOMO. And again, I'm not trying to make an excuse. This was a bad entry, good entry. Obviously, in hindsight, looking at it, it's like, oh, I could have been buying down here and then sold that push. Hindsight's always 20/20 here. But I think it's pretty evident to see I need to really be focusing on the idea of these candle structures and the overall price action. So we had green, 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 3 candles. And then we kind of were like, needed more of a pullback right there. We needed more of a pullback on the 5-minute chart. And that's really what I need to be focused on. If I'm going to be playing these stocks like this, if I'm going to be playing the price action, playing the chart, I need to be focused on the price action. I need to be focused on the 5-minute chart for my entries and then kind of watching the 1-minute chart for my profits. I'm looking for the 5-minute chart for my entries and I'm looking for the 1-minute chart for my profit areas. So we on the 5-minute chart, my entry just wouldn't have been until about now, maybe the 460 area would have kind of been my entry. But even then, it's just like trending lower. So this probably overall, seeing that we had a higher low here, that should have been a red flag. I guess is a good way to put it. Maybe we're going to consolidate here, but overall, I just was buying too high there. So good example of what happens when you chase a stock, and just buying too high. Buy money. Buy, and then buy money. And that's what happened today. So walking away with a $420 loss kind of is what it is. Good learning lesson again that if I'm going to be trading like this, if I'm going to be focusing on the price action, Patrick, you need to be focusing, on the price action. You idiot. Come on now. Get with it. So if you guys haven't already, do me one big favor, hit that subscribe button. Got a lot of great videos coming real soon for you guys. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you leave a comment down below. It really makes me feel better about myself when people leave nice comments. Nice comments only, no bad comments. There it is. I'll talk to you guys later on. If you haven't, like I said already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.